Welcome to the deep dive. If you're listening, chances are, sleep problems are, well, really common.
Incredibly common.
Yeah. And especially if you're dealing with hormonal stuff like endometriosis or PCOS, those nights can feel extra tough.
Absolutely. It's something we hear about a lot.
So let's just jump right in. Today, we're diving deep into that link, that connection between your sleep and your hormones.
hmm
Hopefully, by the end, you'll have a clearer picture of how sleep actually influences your hormonal balance and, maybe walk away with some useful tips.
Yeah, exactly. For so many people, getting that consistent, good quality sleep feels almost impossible sometimes.
Right.
So in this deep dive, we want to look at just how tightly sleep and hormones are connected. Really show how your sleep patterns are sort of a master regulator for hormones.
The regulator, I like that.
And importantly, offer some real evidence-based things you can actually do to support better sleep, gently.
Okay, so we all know sleep's important, but let's dig into the why. Why is it so critical, particularly when hormones are in the picture? It's more than just feeling groggy, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It goes much deeper. What's really fascinating is how our bodies run on these internal rhythms, these 24-hour cycles, circadian rhythms.
Right, the body clock thing.
Exactly. And sleep is fundamental to keeping those rhythms on track. Think of it like this. These clocks don't just signal sleep and wake times. They also conduct like an orchestra for hormone release all day long.
Oh, okay.
So if your sleep gets messed up, it can create this ripple effect across that whole hormonal system. It throws things off.
That makes a lot of sense. So when sleep is kind of calling the shots for hormones, who are the main players, which hormones are most affected?
Well, melatonin is obviously a huge one. That's the hormone directly telling your body, hey, it's nighttime, time to wind down,
The sleep hormone.
pretty much. Then you've got cortisol, often gets called the stress hormone.
Yeah, it gets a bad rap sometimes.
It does, but we need it. Sleep has a massive impact on cortisol levels, and crucially, the timing of when it's released. Normally, it should peak in the morning, helps you get up and going, then sort of gently decrease through the day.
Making way for sleep later on.
Precisely. Should be low at night.
And what about reproductive hormones? For our listeners with with PCOS, that's obviously a huge focus. How does sleep factor in with, say, estrogen?
Yeah, that's a really, really important question. Sleep definitely plays a part in regulating reproductive hormones like estrogen. The exact how is still being researched. It's complex,
Sure.
but there's a clear link. We see studies showing that ongoing sleep disruption can interfere with that delicate balance needed for a regular menstrual cycle.
Interesting.
And we can't forget insulin either, the hormone handling blood sugar. More and more research is pointing to how vital good, consistent sleep is for keeping insulin sensitivity healthy.
Okay.
Some studies even show poor sleep might increase insulin resistance, which, as you know, is a big piece of the PCOS puzzle.
Wow. Okay, so this is where it gets really practical, I guess. If sleep goes off the rails, maybe because of pain or stress or just the hormonal ups and downs themselves, what actually happens to those hormone signals? What are the consequences?
Right, connecting the dots. Well, when sleep is disrupted consistently, it can really throw those hormonal rhythms out of whack.
Head of whack, yeah.
You might get these irregular cortisol spikes, maybe higher levels overall. That can make you feel kind of wired at our edge, even when you're just exhausted.
That tired but wired feeling.
Exactly that. And then melatonin production might get suppressed, so it's harder to fall asleep, harder to stay asleep. It becomes this vicious cycle.
Ugh.
And yeah, for many people, this disruption can unfortunately impact the menstrual cycle, maybe more irregular periods, maybe symptoms feel worse.
And these hormonal shifts, they aren't just happening abstractly inside us, right? They translate directly into how we feel every single day.
Absolutely. It's not just numbers on a lab report. These disruptions are why you might feel constantly unrested, even after, 8 hours in bed.
Right. The quality isn't there.
Exactly. And we also know poor sleep can dial up inflammation in the body, which is interesting because some research links inflammation to endometriosis pain. So you can see how that might become a cycle too.
Pain disrupts sleep. Poor sleep increases inflammation, potentially worsening pain.
Wow. Can be a tough loop to break. And of course, mood. Sleep and mood are so tightly linked. Disrupted sleep often means more mood swings, feeling less stable emotionally.
So I just want to pause here because for anyone listening who feels like their sleep is just wrong or off, it's so important to hear this. It's not just in your head.
Not at all. It's validation.
Yeah, there's a real physical, hormonal reason why it might feel that way.
Absolutely. It's physiological, which naturally leads us to, okay, what can we actually do? What are some practical, evidence-based things we can try gently to support better sleep?
Okay, let's get into some tips. And I like that emphasis on gentle. No pressure for perfection here.
Not at all.
So one thing that comes up a lot is light exposure, right? Dimming lights, screens.
Yes, that's a really effective starting point. Try dimming the lights in your home, maybe an hour or so before you want to sleep. And definitely limit screen time, phones, tablets, TVs.
That blue light is the culprit.
It is. It can really interfere with producing melatonin, that key sleep signal we mentioned.
Okay, so dim lights, less screen time. What else?
Building on that, maybe create a short, simple wind-down routine, something calming. It signals to your body, okay, time to shift gears.
Doesn't have to be complicated.
Not at all. Even just 5 minutes. Maybe some deep breathing. Or really gentle stretching, something that feels relaxing to you.
I like that. Another one I hear is consistency, bedtime, and wake time, even on weekends. Is that realistic?
It's surprisingly powerful. As much as you can, trying to stick to a regular sleep schedule helps anchor that circadian rhythm we talked about. It makes it easier for your body to know when to sleep and when to wake up. Weekends too, ideally, or at least not varying too drastically.
Reinforces the body clock.
Exactly. And something else to be mindful of is timing, like when you eat your last meal or when you have caffeine.
Yeah. Late night snacking or coffee.
For some people, eating a heavy meal or having caffeine too close to bedtime can definitely disrupt sleep. It's worth just observing how your body responds to those things.
Paying attention. Okay. And I think this is maybe the most important part. Self-compassion.
Oh, absolutely crucial.
Because there will be bad nights. It happens. And beating yourself up about it just makes it worse, right?
Totally counterproductive. It adds stress, which definitely doesn't help sleep. Think of it as an ongoing process. There will be good nights and bad nights. It's not a test you pass or fail each night.
Yeah, it's not a performance. Be kind to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Sleep isn't something you can force. It's more about creating the right conditions, setting the stage, and then allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
Patience is key. Celebrate the small wins.
Speaking of observing and being patient, this might be a good time to mention the March Health app. It can be a tool for this, right? For exploring sleep patterns gently.
Yes, absolutely. And the key word there is gently. It's not about chasing a perfect sleep score or adding another layer of pressure.
No sleep guilt.
Definitely not.
No.
What's great about the app is it gives you a space to just notice. You can track when you went to bed, roughly when you woke up, maybe jot down how you felt. No judgment.
So you can start seeing patterns.
Yeah, maybe you notice, my sleep seemed worse after I ate that late dinner, or my symptoms flared up after a few nights of poor sleep.
Yeah.
It helps you connect the dots for your body.
It puts you in the driver's seat, like becoming your own sleep detective, but in a curious, non-stressful way.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's about discovering what works for you. Because what helps one person might not help another. It empowers you to find your own rhythm.
Okay, so bringing it all back together, the main message here is that sleep isn't just nice to have, especially if you're dealing with endo or PCOS or other hormonal conditions.
It's fundamental. It's not a luxury item on your wellness checklist. It's a core pillar for your body's healing, for regulation, for everything.
So prioritizing sleep is actually a really powerful form of self-care. It can genuinely help with managing symptoms and just overall well-being.
Couldn't agree more. It's foundational.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, really, we just want to encourage you to be curious about your sleep. Notice things without judgment.
Yeah, maybe ask yourself, what could I learn if I just paid a little gentle attention to my sleep patterns?
And maybe tonight's the night to try it. You could log your sleep in the March Health app.
Just give it a go. Remember, absolutely no pressure. Just curiosity, see what you notice.
And just know that March Health is here. We're here to support you on this journey, this ongoing process of understanding and nurturing your sleep.